what was really interesting is we've just gone through a big bear market. Normally, everything gets nuked versus Bitcoin. ETH didn't. It traded sideways.
Yeah.
So if that's not a big tell, so if it stays the same as Bitcoin in a down market, what's it going to do in a bull market? So that's my hunch is that it outperforms. My hunch that in this cycle it'll do the flippening, and then it'll probably come back again, and everyone goes, "See, it was ridiculous. You know, it was a bubble." It's just, but over time, it's a faster growing network. Simple as that.
Raoul Pal, a prominent figure in the financial world, has become known for his expertise and insights in the cryptocurrency space. In the bear market, Ether displayed resilience while other cryptocurrencies faced substantial declines against Bitcoin. Raoul Pal interprets this as a positive indication of Ether's potential for strong performance in a bull market. Based on his analysis of the Ether-Bitcoin cross-trading pair, Pal predicts that Ether will outperform Bitcoin in the long term. So can Ether surpass Bitcoin? Well, if you take an example of the year 2021, then Ether outperformed Bitcoin and gained nearly 400% compared to 66% for Bitcoin. He emphasized that both Bitcoin and Ether have been performing well. The macro expert believes that a new bull cycle officially kicked off in October, and while corrections along the way are likely, he says new yearly highs for the crypto market coming. Raoul Pal observed that Ether held its value well compared to Bitcoin during the bear market, impacting his investment choices. He generally favors Ether over Bitcoin and Solana, but is open to adjusting his portfolio based on market trends and breakthrough applications on Solana. Pal says that Solana could follow in the footsteps of the leading altcoin when it skyrocketed after hitting a low in 2018. At the time, Ether saw about a 47x increase. However, Pal says that he anticipates Solana seeing at least a 20x increase from current prices. It is worth mentioning that the Solana Foundation came out strongly to deny the SEC security label for Solana, saying it has utility in the ecosystem. We will now bring you clips of Raoul Pal from his recent interview with Investansers. Before we proceed further in this video, please make sure to subscribe our channel and click the bell icon to stay updated.
So people who are just in the crypto space, it doesn't matter. They're both going up, right? So that's the most important thing to note. So you can back any horse you want. What we're in the game for is the excess returns. Where can you generate the higher return? So when I look at Bitcoin, it's the scarcity and the purity of what they're doing. But now we're building ordinals and other things on top of the network and layer twos and stuff. Okay, more use cases, good for Metcalfe's law, good for on-chain activity. ETH is much broader and much more dominant in that broader world. And so when I look at that and think of the ETH staking, the yields, what institutions like about this as well, what kind of people get involved, I mean, everything seems to be more ETH based. And again, that's not a diss on Bitcoin, this ridiculous tribalism online. And I just look at the long-term ETH Bitcoin cross on TradingView, and it looks like it's a giant kind of wedge pattern. And I look at that, and that's the kind of, with all price history on a log chart. And I'm like, I just reckon that these patterns usually break up as a continuation pattern, and that would say ETH massively outperforms. If we also know that ETH becomes scarcer every time it's used right now, then it's most likely to outperform. But the thing that most people don't understand is what seems to give the best correlation is total value transacted in dollars. And what we find is that Bitcoin is worth more because more is exchanged in value. ETH does a lot more transactions, but they're smaller. And the Bitcoin transactions tend to be larger in size because there's a lot more institutions and that kind of stuff in the space. So what it's telling you, and I found that all of them seem to be priced accurately according to that, with a chart fit kind of thing. Therefore, it's telling you Solana has smaller transactions. Okay, that's fine. It depends what applications get built. And if it's going to be a consumer chain, which is, I think, really where its branding lies really well, then maybe it does that. But then it's going to have a lot more active users because it's a consumer-based product. So you win in there's two different ways to win in that game. But I like you, think ETH outperforms Bitcoin and Solana outperforms ETH. But I won't prepare to have that. I've got the ETH bet. I don't really have much Bitcoin anymore, and that worked well in the bear market. My ETH, maintained its value against Bitcoin, so fine. That's the first leg of that to prove out. The next bit is the bull market. I imagine that if those downward sloping trend lines of Sol versus ETH start breaking, and we start to see some breakout new applications on Solana, that I will be shuffling my 90-10 or 80-20 or whatever my current weighting is between the two. So I'm actually thinking, look, there is a potential, and again, people listening to this, there's a possibility, a dream scenario that Solana does what ETH did from the 2018 low, which was a 47x.
Yeah.
And so Solana low was $9. So, you can do the maths. The numbers are potentially very interesting. That would be 20 something X from here for Solana. So ETH will be less than that, much like Ethereum outperformed Bitcoin. So yeah, somewhere within that range that you gave, and then just look at what ETH did back in 2018 and say, look, that's reasonable for a proven, battle-tested protocol that has a lot of activity.
BlackRock is trying to become the first asset manager to launch a fund tracking the price of Bitcoin. Institutional investors aren't allowed to buy cryptocurrencies at the moment, but SEC approval of BlackRock's filing would change all that, offering Wall Street a cheap and regulated route into the token. Pal expressed his belief that BlackRock and other institutions have been considering entering the cryptocurrency space for some time, waiting for the right regulatory environment and market conditions. It costs a lot of money right now to transact Bitcoin, Fink said Wednesday in an interview on Fox Business. We hope our regulators look at these filings as a way to democratize crypto. Raoul Pal linked the timing of BlackRock's ETF launch to the Bitcoin halving and global government debt cycles. He expressed his belief that institutions are aware of the ideal timing for product launches in the market. In January 2021, BlackRock's CEO Larry Fink said that the company's website crashed after it added a Bitcoin ticker to the homepage. Fink said that the crash was a sign of the growing interest in Bitcoin among institutional investors. Let's get back to interview.
I do remember back in 2021, he was on CNBC and he started talking about when they put some stuff on Bitcoin onto the BlackRock website and they had a record number of hits on the website. Yeah. He's like, right. I paid attention that people want this as a product.
Yeah.
And it was just him talking about it that got it. So I think he's been across the line for a while. And I think they've been waiting for both the right regulatory environment and the right time in the market. And we're Bitcoin's up, 100% from the low. It's starting to feel like people are starting to understand that we're likely in a bull market again. And so therefore they've rolled it out. I mean, from my conversations with most of these institutions is they've all been working on it. They all know it's coming, but it's waiting for the SEC to say what they can do. And I think the trade-off here is Gensler's like, I need a political break here.
Yeah.
Because he's getting destroyed by stopping all innovation in the United States.
Yes.
And stopping opportunity to investors, which I think is disgraceful. So I think he's thought, okay, well, I've said Bitcoin is okay, so why don't I just get that across the line? Yeah. So then, look, everybody lined up to do this, which is fine for all of us because it will just bring fresh capital into the digital economy.
Yeah.
And that'll get disseminated across the digital economy into different places, and that'll invigorate the cycle. But yeah, most of these people, even Jamie Dimon, they've got a huge group of people working on blockchain technologies at JP Morgan. Goldman Sachs do, Apollo do. I mean, they've all got it. So they're just waiting and waiting. My guess is there's some people who work in those institutions who know about the crypto cycle and might say, hey, listen, if we're going to get a product out, get it ahead of all the big demand. Let's get it through the SEC, because the halving comes in 2024. And as you know, I think the halving is coincidental also with the global government debt cycles, which is like a 3.5-year, 4-year cycle, which came after every single central bank on earth reset interest rates in 2008 to zero. So everybody kind of issued 3 to 5 year debt. They have to roll it. And that's what keeps driving the balance sheet. That happens to be exactly the same time the Bitcoin came out. So they're all on the same merry cycle together. So yes, I'm sure that they're aware of when you want to get product ready for market, because it's a lot of products. I mean, I even started an asset management firm, which is a crypto fund of funds. But by the time we got our shit together, we launched it at the peak of the markets. You have to go through the downside and then back up through the other side. So yeah, if anybody who launches stuff now, it's perfect timing.
Looking ahead, the analysis suggests that Ether may outperform Bitcoin in the long run given its resilience during the bear market and potential for exceptional performance in a bull market. The value of top cryptocurrency Bitcoin could reach $50,000 this year and $120,000 by the end of 2024, Standard Chartered said on Monday, predicting the recent jump in its price could encourage Bitcoin miners to hoard more of the supply. Will Ether outperform Bitcoin in longer term? Share your thoughts in comment section below. If you find this video informative, don't forget to show your support towards our channel by giving this video thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos covering more interesting topics. Thank you for watching.